Hello everyone, my name is Steve and I want to welcome you to my new YouTube channel called Positive Influences. This whole channel is going to teach you, hopefully, and give you some character of your life that you may be missing. I don't know. I'm not the perfect person to do this, but I've always tried to be inspirational in everything and not try to see the bad side of things. I've walked on those sides before where I was negative and I had to learn from my own experiences. I wanted to share with you some of the things I've learned about dealing with things that may be out of your control sometimes. Like, for example, if you have people you know in your life that may be negative in some way, rather than cutting them off deliberately or just trying to remove them from your life, one of the things I found that was really helpful for myself is basically to not let that affect you, who you are. What you already determine what you are is what you are. No one's going to tell you who you are. You just have to know who you are. And for myself, I know from the experiences and the paths I've walked, choose to be a happy person and not let other things affect me. So in many ways, people will look to you in high regard when you do that. People will be inspired by you. People will be drawn to you in a good light, in a good way. And it's not just because I'm a Christian either. I mean, even outside of my own Christianity, putting that aside for a minute, that I've always learned and tried to be positive in every way, even from the very youth, the very beginning, the experiences. And I could tell you, I've lived under a pretty rough life. You may not know this, but I'm going to tell you publicly right now, I was born with a hair-lip cleft palate, so I've seen the darker side of life. I've been teased and ridiculed all my life. Maybe that made me a better person, I don't know, but it also taught me how other people feel and how things affect you and how you might affect other people. I've actually been drawn closer to a lot of people in life that are even kind of considered outcasts or whatever. And in many ways, I think it's changing more of who I am in life. Like some of my greater friends I had back in the days were mentally challenged people. I had a friend, Bob, I'll never forget him as long as I live. I mean, for people would say something about people of his type or whatever, saying that maybe he's the kind of person that he's stuck in a zone or a position where he can't go very much further. And I'll admit there were some things I caught, like he would always come in, when I worked in retail in Akron, Ohio, he would come in the store and he would always tell people that his girlfriend was pregnant every year. I mean, every year, but she never had the child. So what we found out later is he kissed this girl and he actually thought he got her pregnant. But his beauty in it was he always tried to see the positive in everything in his girlfriend's situation. He never spoke negatively about her. And he always wanted to make better of himself. I remember he was drawn to me one day when I was a packer at the store, and he was a packer at the store. I won't say the name of it, not to put any store in the spot. But he really taught me a lot of, and I think in many ways given me a lot of much character that I have today. So one of the things he really was drawn to me is I tried to be as positive as I could be and tried to be a real friend to him. So he started learning me, getting to know me, and he found out I liked to, back in those days, do roller skating. So I'd be out roller skating in the rink and just enjoying myself and catching up with good friends. And I'd come back to the store during those times and I'd talk about it. And he overheard that, of course, because I would tell him about it, maybe other people, and he wanted to do it. Now, the first thought, most people might have even tried to look at this from a different perspective, maybe an intelligent perspective or whatever, say, yeah, maybe he could never do it. Maybe he would never learn it. But you know what? I kid you not. This guy learned to roller skate. I have seen pretty amazing things in my time, but that one blew me away when I saw this guy who put all his energy into it, and he was roller skating better than some of the people I've seen that have been roller skating because he had so much passion for it, so much positive energy that he decided that was what he was going to do, and nobody was going to tell him otherwise. So I think things like that in life have really helped me as a reflection of who I am and what I really want to be, how I want to reflect and reveal myself, how people see me. And it's not that I've learned to let other people's opinions bother me, but I've learned already, it's already inside of you. What have you decided to do? It's already inside of you. Who you are, whether you choose to be miserable, that's already inside of you. But nobody really wants to be miserable, but sometimes people become so negative, they get caught up in that. So what I was saying earlier is, rather than throwing negative people out of your life, try to bring more positive people into your circle. And the more positive people you bring, it will have an effect on them. Now, if they're completely miserable with themselves and negative, they might end up just going away. But I've seen a great thing happen in one of my great friends' life because I've become so positive, and he said I've been such an inspiration to him. And I know it's just because of the path I've walked and the people that have taught me the things that they've taught me. So on those aspects, I think it's important to really know who you are. Getting back to what I was talking about, the character that I am, I was born and like I said, with the deformity, and it shaped the path of who I am today. You know, in many ways, I've learned to endure with pain. I'm not afraid of hospitals anymore because I've lived under the knife all my life. I mean, this whole face has been reconstructed practically because of the surgery, or at least the center part of it. You know, and you may have noticed that. I've had people look at it like, whatever. You know, I've learned to deal with that and not let that determine who I am. You know, it's already what you decide for yourself. That's what's the most important part. The confidence you have in yourself will have an effect on other people too. But you want it to be a good effect. You want people to really be inspired. Not because you want people to like you, but rather because you want to create that energy that goes out throughout the universe, or however you want to say it. Myself, I would say spiritually. But anyways, I hope you enjoyed this little concession, if you would. And I just really want to try to bring more things into, you know, a positive light for people and let them know, don't let things get you down. Try to always see on a better side. Like some of the greater things I've seen in my life lately, not to reveal too much, is I'm moving. And that for me is incredible because I have found the most beautiful apartment probably I've ever lived at in my life. And later you'll get a view of that. I'll show it to you, and I'm going to invite my friends over. We're going to do volleyball. We're going to just have a great time, you know. And just try to look at the positives and everything. Even today I bought a camera. Well, not today. I bought it a couple weeks ago at Fry's Electronics, and I found out I could not, no matter what I did with this camera, I could not get it to go full screen. So I took it back to the store today, thinking they probably wouldn't take it back because on the back of the receipt it says they don't take returns under 15 days if it's a camera, certain kind of computers or whatever. And I took it back to the store trying to be positively in that light, and a girl walked to me and I said, you know what, I realized that I bought this camera maybe in error, you know, it doesn't go to full screen, maybe I made a mistake with it. I do realize also the receipt on the back says that it can only be returned within 15 days, and she looks at it, she goes, oh no, the policy is actually 30 days. That's for regular cameras, yours is a digital camera, so you can return it. Now see, because I was positive enough, because I decided to go pursue my own interests and decided to take that step of faith, if you would, I was able to return the camera. Now, on another note, when I went back searching on the internet, I found a lot of people like this camera. It's actually what's known as Logitech C920, I think mine was. And there's certain software I've learned later that that will allow it to go full screen. I know the Macs, people with the Apples and computers don't have any trouble with it, but the PCs, we're still struggling with it somewhat. So anyways, I didn't mean to get off on a tangent there, but I hope you enjoyed this video, and yeah, look forward, subscribe to this channel, check out my Atari channel and my Commodore channel, check out my driving channel. I say the channel where I just drive around Phoenix and kind of show you the lights, and I'm going to kind of add more of that each day. And once again, above all, be positive. Thank you for watching.